Damn. Okay, let me see if they're gonna let us go.
Where's
Yep.
Chief at?
Chief will be in here in a minute. I was gonna go ahead and let him read the article, and then we was gonna start. We was gonna bring Chief and everybody in here. We're trying to get through the article, but it's just so much bullshit. So we back, y'all. We back. So we cross reference with Twitter and YouTube. So hopefully Twitter security can back up YouTube. So we should be good. Okay. Sorry about that, you guys. I don't know if they got notifications, but we in all night.
Yeah, peace to the tribe, man. This crazy, man.
So
Like
so we left
they
out
don't
with the
want to
island
let the
hop.
young God shine. Yeah. Okay. So these so-called, I guess we would call them Paleo Americans, right? Because they were the ancient Americans. Apparently, didn't come across the land bridge, you guys. They came across the Pacific Ocean from island hopping from island to island on a a hypothetical kelp highway, as the article had stated.
Hold on, what's kelp? What is that like? Like
You
a
know,
Kelp
like
is like a seaweed.
it's like seaweed in the
yeah, that's what I
ocean,
was thinking. That's what I was thinking. I was gonna say like
right? A kelp highway
uh
along the fucking Pacific Ocean, my
uh
nigga.
Man, I ain't
bacteria.
lying.
Right.
Along the
Oh
fucking
my
Pacific
god.
Ocean, nigga. Okay, so peep this. It says, hold on, let me make sure I'm okay. It says just like the ice-free corridor model is supported by a shared technology and shared culture found across the region, the Kelp Highway hypothesis also has a uniting technology: stem points. These are blades, spear points, knives, and cutting tools, all manufactured the same way, and are one of the oldest types of projectiles in the world, Craig. In the
What?
goddamn world,
So they
Craig.
were strapped up.
While stem points are plentiful along the coast of Asia, there were very few found at the older sites in North America, and crucially, even fewer found along the coast. So basically, they telling you niggas ain't popping off on the coast of the Pacific, my nigga. Like it ain't that many points that predate or even come to 16,000 years ago. Okay. It says, of course, if this archaeologist kelp highway theory was true, there would be very few archaeological sites along the west coast of North America. Sea levels have risen dramatically since the Ice Age, so any human settlement would have flooded long ago. Right?
It
So
figures.
it says that's where Cooper's Ferry comes in. OSU's Davis first began evacuating the site. I'm sorry, excavating the site in the 1990s, nigga. Like you said, Ty Data. His
Uh,
team uncovered stem points and dated them to over 13,000 years ago.
hold
At
on,
the
hold
time,
on. That's a coincidence. Right before we came on, I was like, man, you know they just now dropping this shit. I was like, man, you know they've been digging this shit since 1999.
yeah, that's
So you
exactly
mean to
what she
tell me they
said.
literally just said they've been digging this since 1999, bro?
Well, since the 1990s, that's what
1990s?
it says.
God damn. Wow.
It, it says at the time there were no other examples of this type of technology from that time in history in North America. It says we sort of sat. This is a quote from Davis. It says we sort of sat in limbo for a time as people argue about what it might mean. So they telling y'all, nigga, we found this shit a minute ago, nigga, but we ain't really know how we was gonna release this
Straight
shit.
up, straight up. Hold on. Let me get that again. Let me get that again. What he say? What he say?
This is Oregon State University's archaeologist Davis. His last name is Davis. I forgot his first name, but it says in quotes, "We sort of sat in limbo for a time as people argued about what it might mean." This is what Davis said in
Mm-hmm.
regards to finding in the night. I mean, beginning excavation in 1990s. It says they resumed excavation in 2009, and in 2017, Davis and his team once again started finding stem points. The radiocarbon dates we were getting, this is quote, started to tell the same story. And then it started to show they were even older than we realized. That was super surprising. It says the stem points were extremely similar to a type found in Hokkaido, Japan, also dated around 16,000 years ago. It
Wow.
says combined Davis, and this supports the hypothesis that the first Americans didn't arrive by land, but by boats. Another archaeologist agreed. When you look at the illustration Davis had in there of the stem points from Japan and the kind he was finding at Cooper's Ferry, it's really striking and very exciting, though it isn't definitive, he says. It offers new avenues of study.
Right. Right.
It says, although the site at Cooper's Ferry is inland and far from the coast, it sits at the conjunction of two major rivers that serve as tributaries to the Columbia. If you're traveling south along west coast, the Columbia is pretty much the first left you can take. It would be easy enough to then follow the river, rich with fish, to the confluence of two of its tributaries, the Snake and the Salmon rivers, and a spot along their banks where Cooper's Ferry now stands. It says, and the ancient people who first settled at this location apparently liked it there, Ty Data. Now listen to this. It says, the archaeological site, which contains fire pits full of mammal bones, including enamel from the tooth of an extinct horse, and numerous tools, signs that it was visited by humans for thousands of years. Indeed, the region was known to the Nez Perce tribe as the site of an ancient village named Nip. It says if humans did arrive in Idaho by Columbia, following the Columbia, there may be more archaeological sites along the river and its tributaries. There's just one problem. About 15,000 years ago, the massive landscape shaping Missoula flood swept down the Columbia. They just missed the location where Cooper's Ferry stands by a few kilometers. Anything downstream at a lower elevation would have been obliterated. Hmm, sounds like a great flood of some sort. It says Davis thinks archaeologists could find more sites by looking at higher elevation Columbia tributaries, but yet he has no plans to search for them yet. He's got 10 years worth of artifacts from Cooper Ferries to go through. This is how the article ends, you guys. So, any uh, response to that? Anyone? Humans in Idaho 16,000 years ago with fire pits and shit and spearheads and knives and shit.
Fire, yes. I got a
Civilization in the Americas, you guys. 16,000 years ago. And it's kind of fun. It's kind of funny that it actually uh coincides with the same similar type of tools and shit made in Japan at this around the same time. Like I just think that's interesting. What you think, A1?
yeah, man. I'm not surprised, bro. I'm not surprised, man. I'm not surprised about none of this stuff. They done dug up so much stuff in here that they just don't want us to know about. You know what I'm saying? Like they, man. Listen, I got an article right here. It says people was in America 130,000 years ago.
I've read that before. I've read that articles like
It's
that
kind of
before too.
vague. It's kind of vague, but it's still giving you an understanding that people was here. You know what I'm saying?
And from craniomorphology and these studies of the current skulls and shit, they already done told us who was here first.
How many
And
people
now
we got in?
I don't know. I can't see the chat. I don't even know if it's still running.
We got about 10 right now. They climbing back in because we ain't getting no notifications. So
Yep.
people just
I ain't seen no notifications. They done kicked us out 4 or 5 times
yeah.
already.
So it's but I'll put it together once we get together. Once it's over, I'll put it all together. Try to put it back.
So
And
they
you know
said,
you gotta
This was the oldest, uh, some of the oldest projectiles in the world, Craig.
Right there in that area,
Huh?
right there.
That's what they said. These artifacts they found, these knives and spearheads and shit, are some of the oldest radiocarbon dated artifacts in the world.
Mm.
Not in North America, in the world. Think about it. What was happening 16,000 years ago in the world? Allegedly, it was fucking ice age. That's what they claim. It was an ice age, and that's why I want nobody here.
Right.
Now,
Oh my.
now they're going back and they're saying, "Oh, wait a minute. The land bridge couldn't have been because we found artifacts that were older, that were basically where there was supposed to be ice at, and people wasn't fucking supposed to be there for thousands of years. Now we're finding signs of civilization that predate this in Idaho, nigga, of all places, like not on the coast. But now they're trying to say these niggas came from the Pacific, but they made it all the way to Idaho, nigga, before
Yeah.
setting up something they visited for thousands of years.
How did they get
Come
to
on, my
Idaho?
nigga.
That's the question. Like, what were
Come
they?
on, my nigga.
Did they have horses? You got to start looking and seeing. Well, what kind of civilization did they have? Did they have wheels? Did they have wheel technology? Did they have horses? Because listen, man, ain't nobody walking. And then you got to think about it. If you coming from somewhere migrating from another place, right? Think about this, right? The first place you get where you see it's inhabited with hunting, you can hunt, you can fish. You know what I'm saying? Certain vegetations grow. You know what I'm saying? Certain fruits and vegetables grow, or whatever. You gonna stick to that place. You ain't gonna come all the way across that damn Idaho to go to Idaho to cross from the Pacific in to Idaho. I mean, you gotta come
My
across.
nigga, you left Cali, my nigga?
Yo, that's what I'm saying. You gotta come across Cali. Then
You
what?
left Cali,
Vegas,
my
then
nigga.
Arizona. You gotta come across all that shit. Grand Canyon. Get the fuck out of here, man. And them people was
Y'all
already there.
made it.
They
Y'all
made it, but
made it.
what they trying to, but
Like,
what they, you know what they trying to do though? See what they see. Look, this is what don't nobody. The question no one asks. What happened to the motherfucking Indians on the East Coast? Stop telling
mm-hmm.
me about the ones in the middle of the motherfucking America when you was in fucking the East Coast the whole time. Where they at? What happened to these people? You understand what I'm saying? That's some people don't want to talk about that. They died. Well, I got an article right here saying they was enslaved from 1600s until the 1800s. And like I
It's
just
well
told you,
documented.
bro, I just read the article of them. Let me see something. The Phoenician article saying that
Mm-hmm.
they saying that the Creek Indians had a language similar to the Carthaginians, man. And it was saying that the Yamasees. Let me see something. Let me pull up. Matter of fact, you know what? Let me read this, man. How many people we got in here?
Yeah, I don't know. Let me see if I can. Cause every time I go on my YouTube, this shit start fucking up.
Let me see something.
Shout out to the chat. Shout out to all the indigenous
Shout
aborigines.
out to everyone in the chat room too.
It's scalping season as always. These motherfuckers playing games with people mentals, and it's time to make sure that we set the record straight.
Yes, indeed. Shit.
Now peep this. Now they just told us in this article that they found a fire pits with mammal bones and horse teeth, right? But when I look up horse and I see like the domesticating of horses, it says humans began domesticating horses around 4000 BC. And that domestication is believed to have been widespread by 3000 BC. Nigga, nigga, that's 10,000 years later
They had
plus.
horses here. They found horses' bones, man. Lex will talk about that. He talk about how they found horses in like the Virginia area. Now the funny thing about that, right? When you go to like Ocean City, it's a whole island that ain't nothing but horses on.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
They wild horses.
Wild horses. Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? Now, I mean, you gotta take some of this shit in consideration, man. They found mammoth bones here, um, all types of shit, man. They killed a lot of the livestock that was here, man. A lot. I
Hmm.
mean, a lot of the
That's
animals.
what they. That's what they survived on.
They killed a lot of them, man.
That's what they survived on.
Mhm.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to bring that to the family.
Chill.
We found out that they have found some of the oldest, let's just say, weaponry in the
Right.
world, Craig.
We had an army.
In the world, Craig. Niggas,
615, 600,
niggas
what,
was
16?
cooking up mammoths and goddamn horses.
Oh man, this is crazy, man. Wow. This is crazy. So the Bering Strait crossing is gone. Scientists have debunked it actually a long time ago, but they just releasing it right now. What a coincidence, huh?
hmm
Wow.
It's almost like all the work we be doing, like like they be listening, bro. Like there's
Yup.
no way you can defute this shit. Like
Yup.
there's just no way you can get around this shit. The way we be dissecting this shit, once you know your initial premise of what you're looking for, it's easy to point out the bullshit.
Yup.
Like, like I was just telling A1, they talking about horses was domesticated 4,000 years ago, probably somewhere in Asia. But goddamn, this article just told me, nigga, they just found horse teeth in the fire pit with mammal bones and shit 16,000 years ago in the Americas.
Mammals. Oh, okay, just other mammals, other animals, right? They're basically mammals, um, land animals that got heartbeat and 2 feet and shit, right?
Oh shit, yo. Yo, let me read this shit real quick, man. Hold up,
What
man.
happened? What happened?
Hold the fuck up. Yeah, I'm reading out of this book. Remember, I just said I just was opening all this shit up, them articles since we was building, right? And this particular book is an investigation of the Gullah of Aborigines, right? So now, this is what it's saying right here. Well, let me go back. Let me go back real quick. This is gonna take me a minute, so just bear with me.
Curry meaning
I
black.
want you to hear this.
Hmm?
All
It
right.
said 432 drop. Was just talking about that.
Talking about what?
Kathy meaning black. I'm not sure what he's talking about. We got indigenous American in the building.
Peace, peace.
All right,
Oh,
look.
matter of fact,
All 10
before
ones.
you go in, A1, I just want to say shout out. It's the anniversary of the motherfucking I Have a Dream speech, y'all. And most people don't even know that. So I just wanted to shout out to the ancestor, MLK, and what he did do for our people.
Indeed, that's what's up. So what I'm reading, this is an investigation of the Gullah Aborigines, right? Now check
The
this shit
the
out.
Gully, the
The
Gully,
Gullah,
the,
the Gullah,
my
the
is
Gullah.
that my people? Is that
Yes,
my
it
people?
is.
Oh,
Check it
thank you,
out.
sir.
Check this out. All right, so I'm gonna start from the top. They talking about the mounds. So this is they said 1400 AD, 1600 AD, according to them. So all right, so it's saying a burial, a ceramic center, and contain a total of 265 burials. The majority of these was distributed as the follow: a small mound being 2.5 feet high, the 55 feet in diameter, say spanning both Savannah and the Irene times. 160 burials. It's saying that the eighth and final stratus of large mound, 6 burials. So it's saying a palisaded mortuary. I'm sorry, man. Y'all know how I read. It's saying associated with exclusively because the word's real little. Matter of fact, let me share my screen so y'all can see it. Cause this fucking word is fucking foul as hell. Let me share this real quick. I want you to hear what they was eating since their diet alone. All right, y'all can see it, right?
You know I
All
can't
right,
see shit.
all right. So we right here. All right. So boom. So it's saying additionally presented was a. Why is it echoing like that? That's the shit that's disturbing me.
Hold on, I'm on mute. Chief Holiday just came on. I'm on mute.
All
Try it
right,
now.
you're all right. Here we go. All right. So it's saying additionally presented was a rotunda structure composed of six concentric circles of walls, trenches, and post malls. No mitten accolations was found in the structure, and many of the ceramic entirely Irene was concentrated in a pottery cast outside the rotunda. It's saying the similarities of the structure to the creek and council houses described by naturalist William Bartram. Okay, he's a very interesting figure for everybody who study Aborigines. William Bartram is saying the lack of mitten and the presence of the pottery. Is saying you got Caldwell and McCain to include that the rotunda likely facilitated a ceramic structure and conceivably involving the ritual of Kinsia drinking. I don't know what Kinsia is spelled. Cassin. I guess I don't know what that is. It might be a root. It might be something that they created. But somebody look that up to get a chance. Cassina drinking. It's saying and subsequent vessel destruction. Caldwell and McCain. All right, so that's his account, right? Hold up, let me go back. Oh, fuck, hold up. Just bear with me, y'all. All right, it's saying of further interest are the investigations of the physical anthropologist Frederick Hall. Now, that's somebody. If y'all want to look up some more information, that's another anthropologist that we never heard of. All right, Frederick Hall. His last name is spelled Hulse. Frederick. All right, but that's Frederick. It's Frederick without an R. It's Federick, and he's a physical anthropologist. So it says 62 of the 265 burial was fragmented. It's saying for analysis. It's saying, but the remaining 203 included 74 males, 75 females. Hold up, let me hide this. 75 females. Hold up, y'all. Bear with me. 16 adolescents and 38 children or infants were subjected to the morphological and metrical analysis. Halse arrives conclusion regarding sexual differences and similarities as well as Aborigine dental patterns that are both the interest of the present research. He noted that the teeth of the adult inhabitants of the Irene site are badly worn out. It's saying there are no cases of the really mature skeletons, which does not show teeth wearing ranging from excessive extreme, at least for the incensor and canine, and usually for all the molars as well. In castrate to the enormous amounts of tooth where carries. I'm sorry, y'all, because this font is killing me, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all already know I read fucked up, but this font is like really straining my damn eyes. But let me continue because I'm about to get to the diet part right here. All right, so it's saying it occurs. It usually seems to be mold rather than extreme. The premolars and the first molars are the teeth which were more frequently lost. All right, so that's House, Caldwell, McCain. Them are people of interest. You probably want to study them because them people who excavated the Gullah regions, and that probably was before the Gitche Gullah tribe arrived there. Now, all right. So look, so Hoss attributed the combination of the infrequent carries and the excessive wear to a diet that was a low carbohydrate and high in grits. So they saying they was eating a lot of grits, right? It is likely that these people lived on a diet composed of largely shellfish. Look, shellfish. Look, such as oysters and other seafood, right? So it's saying of shellfish of significance, staple more later, it's saying at the mount, whatever. But I just found that to be interesting that the Gitche Gullah people or the people that they found in the mounds, they saying they had a diet high in grits in Georgia. Now, this book is actually talking about the Savannah area. I don't know. It's very extensive. I'm just really cracking the surface. But it also say that look, check this out. Look, hey, hey, Ab, you still on the mic, Ab?
Um, I think
All
we
right,
good.
listen to this right here. Look, check this out.
We got
This
our
is
crew.
all.
We got our crew in here. We got our little 30 people. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking little 30 people. So we got our crew.
No problem, man. Whoever in the place to be, check this out. Now, this is what they these people that they found in the mounds that been there for 1,400 years. All right, now it's the 1,600 years. Now, listen to what the fuck they said they was eating. Check this out. All right, it's an interesting social cultural inference related to these data is drawn by Caldwell and McCain. That's what I'm saying. If you want to do the research and check Caldwell, McCain, and the dude Holsall. I mean, like I said, I'm gonna do some extensive research in this and probably narrow it down and find the more extensive points to really touch. But this is dealing with the people right here in Georgia. Now, listen to this. Now these people.
Wow.
Look, these people was there
Mhm.
before the Gitche Gullah or before the African spoiler came. Now they already said they was eating grits and they was eating shellfish. Now you know niggas eat um um shrimp and grits all the time. Now listen to this, right? Now it's saying since as many burials were found in and about the mortual structure as in a burial mound, it said which served for a larger time, it is logical to assume that the lesser population during each generation of earlier period, it might then have necessary for the local girl to marry men from some other places. Now look, circulating descent though females is a very common custom of American Indian tribes, frequently associated with the matriarchal resident. It is not at all unlikely that the Indians at Irene follow the same pattern. All right, Caldwell McCain. Now, finally, it is of interest to note that the Irene site excavated chose to report their zooarchaeological findings. Admittedly, this is done in a tabular form only, but nonetheless represent a developing interest in electing information regarding prehistorical utilization of the environment. Now listen to this shit, right? Listen to this. Let me open this up too. Check this shit out. Now you tell me who the fuck eat this down there in Georgia. Now word is one,
Me,
bro. This shit is crazy. Listen to
I
this.
mean, I grew
Right.
up on that shit.
Listen, you can see it. Listen to this. Listen to this shit right here. Boom. Now I say admittedly, this is I read that part, but I'm gonna read it again. Admittedly, this is done in a tubular form only, but nonetheless represented the development interest in electing information regarding the prehistorical utilization of the environment. Among the remains were, look, white-tailed deers, black bears, opossums, raccoons, beavers, bobcats, turkeys, surgeons, gars, that's a type of fish, blue crab, Virginia oysters, and others. The species list provided at least the evidence of the Irene population cited by extensive hunting, fishing, and shell fishing. It's saying while no direct evidence of agriculture was found, it must be born in the mind of I can't put I don't know but botanical recovery techniques and water separations of chemical flotations were not in use of American archaeology archaeology cool. I'm sorry. It's saying at the time of the Irene site. Now I found this interesting. I just looked at this shit right here, and I found that right there. This whole book is about the Gola. Maybe if you got an email, I can send this over to you.
Yeah, send that to me. But peep it, King Ether 321. I'll put it in the back chat if you want me to. But I got something to add to that, right? Because it's crazy you say that because literally I grew up like that's my favorite fucking meal, shrimp and grits. But the diet of my people and my ancestors is exactly what you describing. Like that's what's down there. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? And I want to bring forth this piece of information about the seaweed mounds that's in my town that my people, started and shit. So listen to this. It says the seaweed mound, also known as the Old Fort, is a historic mound located near Arwindar, which is the town my people was created in like 1980. It says it's one of the 20 or more prehistoric shell rings located from the central coast of South Carolina to the central coast of Georgia. On average, it measures 149 feet in diameter and stands 10 feet high. The midden is largely composed of oyster shells. A small midden is located nearby. So there's actually shell ring mounds from the middle of South Carolina to the middle of Georgia that date back. Let's see how far they date back. Uh, 1000 to 2200 BC.
Mm.
And that's just right there and fucking, right at home for me. So that's crazy.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But yet we still trying to have a debate about who the real Americans are.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess. Shout out to everybody. Let me get this in real quick because we got some people out there and some donations. Shout out to Uptown Down in the building with a $5 donation. We definitely appreciate that, man. Yeah, definitely holler at us. We got some other stuff we can get into. We also got originaltribalwear.com. You know what I'm saying? Miss Mohawk, she one of the celebrities up in here. Yeah, she's from originaltribalwear.com, so you can go check that website out, get you some tribal gear. We also got the First American Declaration. If you want to kind of know what we're about a little bit, where we come from, it is best to read the declarations because if you come up here, some people be asking us for questions, and the answers in the declaration, we gonna be a little offended. Like, why you here? Like, you know what I'm saying? If you don't even know who he is, you know what I'm saying? And then you can definitely download the Lakeisha app in your app store. You know what I'm saying? In the description box, if you got an Apple or if you got an Android, you know what I'm saying? You can definitely download that and right along with your $5. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, get right in with the rest of the crew. We appreciate it.
So I got some more news to bring forth. This is
Yeah.
tribal community
Oh,
news.
you know what? We got we, hold on 1 second. We got a little more people in the room, so we might have to do kind of a recap of what just happened and what just broke off about 10 hours ago, 8 9 hours ago. What just broke off?
Oh,
Um,
for those who just coming in, the 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 mongoloid walking over on the goddamn land bridge, ice skating across goddamn land bridge theory has been thrown away by scientific consensus and science now. Basically, they have found human artifacts that denote civilization in Idaho that date back 16,000 years ago, which throws out the theory that shit was just frozen and nobody was fucking in America until these fucking people just magically walked across this land bridge. So yeah, so that theory's out. They're waving a white flag on that. Now they have come up with this theory that these people came through the Pacific and followed and island hopped the Pacific following a kelp highway to fucking Idaho. You guys. I just want to Idaho, y'all.
Peace,
Ye-
peace, and love to
Yeah.
everybody, man. Peace to the guys on the panel. Everyone, what it do, brother?
Chief Holiday was good with you.
Gee, what you think about
Peace,
that,
Chilling,
bro?
Chief.
chilling, man. The truth is in the
It's in the
building.
building. What
Hey,
up?
shout out to King Ether, aka Aboriginal TV, Kai Data, the Cyborg, man. Great shit, man. I think it's here's the whole problem with everything that they're saying, right? And this is why I don't even entertain dumb shit, because at the end of the day, the Outer Africa hypothesis. Okay, well, the hypothesis, the guess is not even a theory. They want to say theory. Once again, they're being misleading because theories aren't facts. So they teach these stories just like Kunta Kinte, and they make it like it's a fucking fact. They talk about it so much that you will believe that somebody actually crossed the Bering Strait, right? But the problem that they have, even when they're talking about that, right? Shout out to Uncle Cat, Amarasquad, right? They actually made a video and said that 10 to 20 human beings, 10 to 20 human beings have came across the Bering Strait. 10 to 20, not 10 to 20,000, not a million. Y'all follow me where I'm going with this? So they say shit that they can't back up. And also, once again, they had boats during this time period, before this time period. So, of course, you're going to find human activity prior to this, after this, right? So now they say, oh, 16,000 years, right? But the problem with that is that you have human activity in California that goes back 131,000 years, according
Mm-hmm.
to science. So you have 131,000 years, you have 16,000 years. 16,000 years and 130,000 years ago were only brown people on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
And them niggas still talking
Shit.
about, they still
They
Period.
arguing
snipers.
dumb shit. I'm
Yeah.
reading this article right here. This is dated. I got another one.